Committee members have had a chance to review. I would entertain a motion to approve.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Minutes are approved. New business. Item number 1 is approval of amendment number 1 to the contract with Duncan Coker Associates for the Greensboro Avenue Streetscape Project. The total is $25,254. Mike?
Good afternoon. So this is an amendment to their professional services contract. It is to perform video inspections of existing storm sewer systems that are on the design plans. They're using that as a guide in their development, but we need to verify both location and condition and any unknown connections of that storm sewer network. The only way to do it is with closed caption TV video.
So how much of Greensboro Avenue does this cover, Mike?
From University Boulevard to 7th Street, both sides. Yes, sir.
Oh, we should have. And what is it that's in doubt?
A is condition. Their guidelines right now, because the structures are either covered up or they were not put in according to the plans. They're not visible on the surface. There are some access locations. That's what the closed circuit camera will go in, and then we can video the line segment, and it's measured by distance, and we say, okay, here's a structure. There should be a manhole in the street here. And that'll be a way for us to identify those. Secondly, there could be roof drains that are unknown that need to be reconnected in the design of the project.
I'm sorry, what drains?
Roof drains,
okay.
stuff off of these old buildings.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of unknowns that.
So the reason I'm asking is, this is streetscaping, right? This is an attempt to improve the aesthetics of Greensboro Avenue from University to 7th Street.
Yes, sir, which incorporates
What?
parking change, redoing the parking,
Right.
widening the sidewalk and all that. And at these intersections of 6th and 7th and University, we'll be making some modifications to the curb lines and capturing the water again. The curbs are gonna move inward, so we gotta have storm structure in new places.
I'm I'm asking because I have this fear that we're going to end up having started to make the streets prettier. We're going to end up digging them up and replacing storm sewers and drains down there. Is that?
Well, the streetscape is gonna require some digging. This is an attempt to understand why let's dig here because we know it's there and not.
Okay.
Without this data, there's a chance that we could say, well, the map showed the pipe here. We need to dig down and make a connection. And we dig down and the pipe's not there. Okay. And then we're under construction, we've got traffic control set up, it's a disruption. Then you've got to figure out, well, where is that pipe that's supposed to be here?
Okay. We had, I think I'm haunted by Lurleen Wallace Boulevard. And didn't we run into that issue that in redoing the road, we picked the scab underneath the surface that caused a lot of money and delay in that?
So that was a little ahead of my time, but,
Okay.
but I'm pretty sure you're right.
No, Lurleen Wallace. My memory of it is, and it was before my time too.
It was Aldott too.
Okay, all right. Well, you've answered my question.
When were these put in there in the first place? Do you have any idea?
Early 80s?
1880.
Early 80s.
The 1980s.
Yeah, so they're 41, 42 years old.
No telling what you got.
Yeah, we don't really know.
Okay, I don't have any further.
Any other questions?
No, sir.
Entertain a motion. to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Item number 1 is approved. Item number 2 is approval for award of construction contract to ST Bun Company for the Canyon Mill Road Turn Lane Project. The total is $81,777.88. Clint, welcome.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Hey, Clint.
Yes, sir. Just like Councilor Crowe said, this is a construction contract for SD Bun to do the Canyon Mill Road turn lane project for just over $81,000. We had a bid opening March 6th. That was about a few weeks ago. We had 2 bidders, and SD Bun was the low bidder at this amount. We anticipate to issue a notice to proceed if this all goes through next month, and then it's expected to be completed in June of this year. So just 2 months.
Do you not have any supporting documents?
They're coming. It's coming. She's printing. It was an error.
Okay.
They're coming.
Where's Canyon Mill Road?
It's over there in District 5. Was it Old Birmingham?
Yes, over on that's
Beyond
highway.
that 45, beyond.
It's a nice subdivision there called Canyon Mill. So I'd asked engineering to go look at it, and they agreed that it was dangerous and needed, and this was needed. I was especially happy because that area doesn't really get a lot of attention being so far out.
Other questions?
What all are they gonna do to the road?
Just a turning lane.
Adding a turn lane. Yes, sir.
Clint, what's our time frame on getting this done?
We anticipate to issue the notice to proceed next month, and then we have about a 60-day contract, so we expect it to be completed in June.
And that's a long stretch of highway too, that's really dark, and when people turn, as we know, situations working on front of Druid Hills and Hillsdale right now, there have been a lot of people getting hit from behind. This turning lane will really make it safe.
Cause it's very dark.
Very dark.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Item number 2 is approved. Item number 3, approval of professional services agreement with McGifford and Associates for the Academy Drive drainage study. Total is $59,445. Zach?
Good afternoon, Council.
Welcome.
Hey,
Good
Zach.
afternoon.
Yep, so this is for a drainage study of the Academy Drive subdivision. There's a drainage channel that goes through that subdivision roughly from Rice Valley Road to 82 and crosses under 82. This will be a study just to look at that area, see where potential flooding areas are, and if we have some issues we can fix, then we'll move forward later on with.
Zach, if you want to talk a little bit about we had approved money for this Academy Drive drainage project a while back. There's been some issues with some houses flooding. We're trying to figure out what it can, or if something else can be done in a cost-effective way. Is that a good way of
Yes, instead of us
describing that? That's why this has been ordered.
Yeah, instead of us going in and just replacing and enlarging certain pipes, we don't want to do that and cause a problem down the line, which in turn causes more flooding in different areas. So this study will give us an idea of what we can upgrade or what we should upgrade to alleviate any sort of flooding issues.
And over the years, there's been a lot of development over in that particular area and up, I guess, would you say upstream?
Yes.
Of that up toward really, because a lot of the drainage comes from the golf course. All the way, that goes all the way up to, Old Colony.
Yes.
So I'm appreciative that we're trying to map that out, because I think it's been a problem area for many years, actually. So, questions from committee members?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Item number 3 is approved. Item number 4 is approval of a minor public works contract with Rick's Service Company for repairs at Lift Station 77. Total of $7,950. Kimberly, welcome.
Hello, how are y'all?
Good.
So this first one is with Rick's Service Company, and this is a repair to the transfer switch at generator on the generator at lift station 70. I'm sorry, at lift station 77, and this is funded out of Fletcher's operations budget, and it is in the amount of $7,950.
Motion.
Second.
Motion second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Item number 4 is approved. Item number 5 is approval of a minor public works contract with Jackson Security Services for security upgrades at Fletcher. The total is $6,187.33. Kimberly?
So this is to add some minor security upgrades at the Fletcher plant, things like door swipes, various things like that, just to get a little more secure in the operations buildings.
Thank you, Brenda.
So this has been, we've worked this out also with our municipal security group, and so everybody's on board with it. And so this is also funded out of Fletcher's operations account. It's in the amount of $6,187.33.
Second.
Moved and seconded, all in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Item number 5 is approved. Item number 6, approval of professional services agreement with 120 Water Audit, Inc. for water service line inventory. The total is $145,950. Kimberly?
So this particular item, it's a little bit confusing the way it's worded, but what it is 120 Water is a consultant that we'll be using that helps us complete our service line inventory that's required by ADM. It's a new requirement, and so the service line inventory would be the service line that goes from the water main to the customer's meter. So we have to inventory what the material is, but we also have to inventory what the material is on the customer side of the meter. And so this company helps us identify that. Some of it will be through going through old records and different things like that we have through permits, land developments, and things like that have been approved. But then also there'll be a part of it where we will end up having to go out and dig up on either side of the customer's box. And it's a new requirement from ADM that's due in October, and we have been working on it in-house, but we just need a little bump to help us get through it. It's a professional services agreement with the option to renew for 2 additional years, but the first year is the only one that we're asking for approval for, and it's for $145,950 for the first year. And the memo says that it's funded out of bond. We had a miscommunication, and we're actually funding it out of ARP funds.
Question I was going to ask. Kimberly, again, this is the first time we've ever done this, and this is basically government mandated.
Yes, but it's EPA mandated.
And then if you could describe for me pretty elementary, please.
So
the
we're
purpose of this is
to identify the material of the pipe coming into the meter and the material of the pipe going out to leaving the meter going to the customer's home.
So is this the same thing as lateral lines?
Well, laterals, yes, but lateral will be on the sewer side. Service line it's just a different lingo for water versus sewer.
Okay.
So
And
the city
is that
owns the line
is
to
that
the meter.
citywide, Kimberly? Y'all have got to determine what's being
It's nationwide.
nationwide
Kim's Fan Club.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
nationwide, but we'll have to do it through our whole system, which is city
to
and county.
determine what material
Mhm.
the line going from the main to the meter is,
Mhm.
and then from the meter onward to the home
Yes.
is. You've got to determine what type of material it is?
Yeah, so if it's PVC, copper,
Oh,
galvanized.
citywide?
Yes.
How are you going to do that?
We'll have to pop meters, and there's some of it we can rule out with records that we have from developments and things like that.
Well,
Some
I
of
mean,
the older ones
it's March now, and
so
this has to be done by October?
this is where it's confusing. So the inventory is complete as far as ADM records and EPA records
That does
if
make
you
a big
have
difference.
every meter inventoried. So basically what happens
The
is,
inventory is complete if you have every meter inventory.
so if you have a catalog of every meter in your system,
Okay.
you essentially have the city side and the customer side. And you can have unknown as far as the inventory goes that you submit in October. You can have unknown material, so if you don't know what the material is on either side. And so as far as meeting the requirement, as long as you have all the meters cataloged and you're showing what you do and don't know, that is considered a complete submission in October.
In
Okay?
compliance.
In compliance, right. So currently, we are in compliance with that because we know where all of our meters are, we have them all logged, but we're trying to complete the data that goes on the either side of it. Complete the missing information.
Would I be correct if I thought that after a home or subdivision was built at a certain date, y'all would pretty much know what it is?
Yes, so we would know what it is or isn't. So after like 1986, there was a big change in the material mandates, and so we know that the service line is going to be PVC or copper. So there's things like that we can. So there's a specific date that you can say it's unknown, but we know that it's not these type of materials. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it has to make it a little easier.
Yes. So we can use records to differentiate, you know, we might have to go dig in these areas, we know we don't have to go dig in these areas. So they're trying to catalog what is meeting the regulations that started in 1986. That's what they're trying to get a grasp on that. Old material that's still out in the United States.
And is there material that's not allowed any longer that's out there?
Yeah, so there's like,
What
we
is
don't do
that?
galvanized service lines anymore, we don't do lead service lines anymore. There's some old school PVC, which is not technically out, we don't use it anymore because it splits, but it's not harmful or anything like that.
And if, to Councilman Busby's point, when you do this inventory, you figure out what your pipes are, then you also can identify if regulations from the government say you can't have blank anymore.
That's right.
You know where they are to be replaced, which could end up being a huge cost.
Potentially, yes.
Could be a huge cost
Yes.
to the city in the future because of government regulation.
Yes, but, so I will say that we made a big push a few years ago to replace any of our city-owned service lines that we felt like were some of the materials that aren't accepted anymore. So all of the known ones we have already replaced.
We've already done.
Yes, but the thing that makes this rule different is that we now have to know what's on the customer side when it hooks into our meter.
So Mr. Busby's house is about 100 years old plus.
A gazillion.
Would he be liable for that piping being changed if it had to be changed, or would the city?
Well, if it's on the city side, the city's would be responsible for it right now. On the customer would be responsible for it right now.
But we would make them change it?
No, not at this point in the game. They're just doing
I
an
beat you to
inventory.
the point.
Oh,
Punch. For
oh, you-
$13,000, I've replaced it myself, despite the presence of a lateral line assistance program. So is this be an ongoing requirement, Kimberly? I noticed the contract is 145 for year 1 and 86 for 2 and 3. If
So-
we have to meet deadline by October, why is there a year 2 and 3?
So there, for the ones that are unknowns, and there's some communication pieces that go out with this, like if we're gonna be coming into your yard and we're gonna have to dig a certain number, like even though it's our meter and we're typically in the right of way, you still believe that it's your yard, so we wanna have communications when we're gonna be there, you know, and things like that. So there's communication pieces with it, there's, helping prepare the inventory when it actually has to be submitted, where we have to catalog everything and submit them individually to ADM on the website. It's an EPA mandate, but we submit through ADM. So the 86 would be, the next pieces that are 86 per year, that would be if we choose to continue using them ongoing, to continue investigating, or if we get to a point where, my hope is that we'll get to a point where we can manage it in-house with the remainder of the ones that we don't know. And we're actively digging right now, in areas that we know that we don't know the inventory. So we're actively out there digging, but it's just a slow go. We just have one crew doing it. So the mandate that is requiring the way it is now just dropped at the end of November.
Just dropped at the end of November.
Yes.
Okay.
So we've been doing the city side, we've been working on that one. So we're now working on the customer side as well.
Okay, I can understand that.
How long did we know they were working on the government side opposed to the customer side?
So we knew that we were going to be having to have an inventory done. We've known for probably a year or so, year and a half, for the city side of it.
Okay.
But that was based on, it was basically trying to make sure that you had all the lead service lines out of the system.
Gotcha.
We haven't been actively doing it now because we knew that we had already gotten out what was unknown.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and then also our goal was that we were going to be using our AMI project to help identify the inventory as we're touching all of those. Yeah, and then, but this regulation is now ahead of the AMI. So if we were a year or 2 years ahead with AMI, we probably wouldn't be having to do this contract, but we're not.
Other question?
I don't have any other
I'd
questions.
entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Item number 6 is approved. Item number 7 is approval of a minor public works contract with MAG Contractors, total $2,341.18. Eric, welcome.
Thank you, Counselor. So this is a minor public works contract with MAG. It's to replace glass on one of the city hall office doors, replace it with a wood panel. The door is historic. It's in the older part of City Hall, and so that's the reason for the increased cost. The project is funded out of facility renewal.
Questions?
Motion.
Second.
Moving second, all in favor say aye. Aye. Item number 7 is approved. Item number 8 is approval of a minor public works contract with Freeman Sheet Metal for roof repairs at the FAA building. The total is not to exceed $5,400. Tim, welcome.
Thank you. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
This is funded by facility renewal, and it is to recoat the roof at the FAA building. We added an extra $500 onto that. That's why it's a not to exceed, just in case there were any unknowns we discovered while working on the roof.
Questions?
And I'm sorry, Tim, you may have said, where's the money coming from?
The facility renewal account.
I'm good.
So moved.
Second.
Moving second, all in favor say aye. Aye. Item number 8 is approved. Item number 9 is approval. Minor public works contract with Renovations Plus for repairs at the gateway. Total is $38,229. Tim.
Yes, sir. So we've got some water intrusion issues happening along the southwest corner of the building related to the foundation and some of the site grading. What we're doing with this work is to grade down that southwest corner of the building. We're also going to do some waterproofing along that foundation line, get the grading below the fascia board, because right now the grading is all the way up to the bottom of that fascia board. We're also going to add gutters on the upper level roof, the higher metal part of the roof, and we're going to bring that water down to the membrane roof so that it's not dumping at 6 feet right onto that membrane, wearing and tearing on that lower level roof. And we are also going to add in a drain inside the generator enclosure. Right now we've got standing water inside that generator enclosure, and so for safety and reliability of all the equipment there, we want to make sure we get that water out of that enclosure. And then the last item we're going to do is upsize the downspout for the roof drainage system from a 3-inch to a 6-inch.
Upsize the downspout. What?
So the building has 6 roof drains that tie into 4-inch openings that come together, or the drains are 4-inch. They come together into a 6-inch drain line in the ceiling. And then they hit a 3-inch downspout. And so that collection box that's on the outside of the building is going to upsize in the downspout itself, because all 6 roof drains are currently feeding into one downspout.
Why is, did we get surprised by something? Is something different from what we thought it was when we did the design and building?
From when we did the design, I'm not sure. I've not found any drawings that indicate the planned roof drain sizes or routes or downspouts. Drawings do indicate locations of roof drains, the 6 locations, but it appears to be more of a design build, you might say, where the contractor came in, knew to add these 6 roof drains, and then for whatever reason tied 6-inch lines into a 3-inch downspout.
It's really been that way from the very beginning.
Okay.
For the
How long's that, Kip?
10 years.
10 years?
I think it is 2014.
Just get past you.
Yeah. Yeah, the roofers didn't ask me to come and help.
It's not the Christmas tree either, is it?
No, just that's my Christmas tree, but it has been, that corner has been an
Yes,
issue
sir.
from
And
the
that
beginning.
is the only downspout, that one
know.
southwest corner, which is where we've got a grading issue. All that water is collecting right there.
Tim, what's our time frame if approved?
I believe we can get this work completed in not more than 2 weeks.
Oh, wow, that's good. Other questions from committee members? Will you entertain a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Item number 9 is approved. Item number 10 is approval of a minor public works contract with Budget Blinds for installation of new blinds at the Mercedes City Club at the Mercedes-Benz Amphitheater. The total is $4,516. Ms. Kay, welcome.
Thank you, thank you. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
So, this is requesting authorization to enter a minor public works contract with Budget Blinds. It's to purchase and install new blinds at the City Club at their Mercedes-Benz Amphitheater. The amount's $4,516, and this is budgeted in AMP repairs and maintenance.
Motion.
Second.
Moved and seconded, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Item number 10 is approved. Item number 10 is approved. Is there any other business to be brought before this committee? I would like to ask Ms. Amanda Mulkey if she would, if committee members are okay with it. I had been asked to allow her to speak very briefly on the pedestrian bridge over our Veterans Parkway, and I granted that, and unless committee members object, she wanted to speak to us, so welcome, Ms. Mulkey.
Thank you, gentlemen. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I want to thank, on behalf of the area residents, Councilor Fail for taking the time to speak with us, Councilor Tyner for taking the time to field so many questions and comments. And I most especially want to thank the members of this committee whose districts aren't directly impacted by this for taking the time to listen to us, and not just listen to us, but hear us about that. We want to participate in the decisions that affect our community. We don't want to just be governed. So thank you so much from the residents of East Tuscaloosa for putting some more consideration into this. And I would just like you to know that the area residents hope that the council moves to send it back to committee. Again, thank you all so much, and we look forward to seeing what will happen in the future.
Thank you.
man.
Thank you for
Thank you
being
so
I
here.
think that's what we expect to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. And, thank you, Amanda, and of course, I think knows that's what's gonna be, proposed tonight is to, remove it from the agenda and send it back to this committee, properties committee. I'd like to see it go to finance committee, hopefully maybe, and then public safety committee, because I take responsibility and for not doing the homework that I should have done to get it so that it came on us the way it did. And Councilor Fell and I both agreed to move it, to table it for 2 weeks to get to them tonight, and that gave us more time to engage with you all, and now to the point of hopefully it will be removed tonight, and then we'll go back and kind of like start over and see the viability of the possibilities for the bridge moving forward.
Thank you.
Any other business to be brought before our committee? Our next public projects committee meeting will be next Tuesday, March the 26th, at 2:30. As always, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion?